Hello, everybody. I'm just jumping on here one last time today. I just wanted to, I told you guys I was going to give you the video for the question and answer yesterday, and it really just, I just can't post it. It's very confusing, and even, it looks like my internet connection wasn't very good too, so it keeps, not only do I have like the jumping back and forth from one person to another going on, but my connection was really bad too, so it's so hard to follow that video. So instead, I'm just going to do the question and answer over again really quick for you guys and just recap it, because it just, the Zoom video is such low quality. I just can't post that on here. I did just post the question and answer type up I did. It's in the unit section, so that's there for you guys. But I'm going to just read over the questions really quick and go over, so you guys do have the video on it. I promised you guys I would post a video on it, so I want to stay true to my word. And I'm just going to do another video for you guys. So the first question I got was, how do I attract the customer base I want? So that question came during session 2, and I do go into great detail in session 5 on how to attract the customer base you want. So I'm not going to go into detail on that now. Watch session 5. I go into great detail in session 5, but just the key points to keep in mind there is make sure your messaging is talking to the target audience you want it to talk to. Make sure the language is there. Advertise in areas that you know your target market shops. I think one of the only things I added was don't underestimate the power of like grocery stores, restaurants, bulletin boards. Don't underestimate that. Just make sure if you're using bulletin boards and whatnot, that you're using them in areas that you know your target market's going to be shopping. That's there. So the next question I got was, how do I find the time to do all this? So there was a lot, right, that I trained you guys on last week. So how do you find the time? Time management is a big one, you guys. And that is the first thing we're going to tackle as members in my membership site is time management. That is something I pursued for a long time. I just figuring it out for myself. And I do have a podcast episode on that. So I did post a link. If you go and look at the cheat sheet I just posted in the units tab, I posted a link to my podcast episode because, again, that is such a big subject. There's no way I can cover all of time management in a quick, summary Q&A. So check out that episode, my time management episode. And if you do become a member, time management is something I'm really going to focus on. I've got some great time management techniques. The only thing I will say about that is I promise you guys, you do have more time than you think you have. I run 2 companies. I am a caregiver for my husband who's, I told you guys, on dialysis and whatnot. I have a teenage son at home still, and I have a neurological disease, and I still manage to find the time to do what I need to do. So just keep that in mind. We all have more time. It's just how we use our time. So listen to that episode. Creating a website seems hard. Are there any cheap alternatives to hiring a web designer? So a couple things on that. I do use HostGator as my web, or like my hosting company, and then I use Weebly to design my website. And it is pretty easy. But if you don't want to do that and you do want to go with hiring somebody, there's virtual assistants, and I do have a great Callie Grant Bell, who is on this page, is a great virtual assistant. I do not know if she's taking any new clients for this. I know she is still taking like clients to do Facebook advertising, but I don't know if she's taking clients when it comes to like website design. If she isn't, the other place you can go to find a good virtual assistant is, let me make sure I get this right. It's called a company called Upwork. It's upwork.com. And you can go in there and find one for like $15 an hour, and they'll show you 2 reviews. So you'll be able to see they've worked with other people. Upwork will have reviews on them. So that's another really helpful one. One of the things I am advising you guys is before you decide to go the route of doing it yourself, the DIY, or if you want a virtual assistant or a web designer, check out my two websites. My childcare business professional website I designed on my own, or I'm sorry, the childcare business professional website I had a web designer design that for me. I hired out for that, and Callie, my virtual assistant, has helped me a lot in updating it and like just keeping things fresh, like my blog. So that one is done. Zooing around my child care center's website is done by me. So you can definitely tell the difference in quality. In my area, the Zooing Around site is fine. My competition, it still looks nicer than my competition's. I don't have a problem with it at all. Um, if I were in a big city, though, it may not cut it. So just be aware of that. No, look at your competitors' websites and make sure whichever route you go, make sure your website is competitive. That's all um, I've got on that one. And so it might be worth hiring a virtual assistant on that in that case. Just make sure that it's compare my two sites and make sure that you're really designing your website to fit your market. And that I can't stress that enough. You got to really just know your own market. Um, let's see. I don't know how to write my own messaging. How can I help? How can I get help with that? I'm sorry. So one of the things I do, the technique I use when I'm writing my message, I think about who is my target market am I writing for. So whether I'm writing for this business or I'm writing for my preschool, I will try and just really engross myself in the type of information I know that they're reading. So if it's a blog post or uh, things like that, I'll just read a lot of that so I can pick up on the vocabulary and the tone and different things. And then it really helps me to guide my own writing. So when I go, it just helps it sound like what my target audience is used to hearing. So that's a suggestion. If you're really afraid to write your own stuff, your own website, your own advertising, even if it's just a flyer you're putting out, that's something else a virtual assistant can help you with. There's something they're called copywriters. And copywriters, you can just hire them to help write your stuff. And again, upwork.com can probably help you find a copywriter. Let's see. Another great question was, how do you get your staff on board with your brand and imaging? This takes a lot of training and coaching. This is something that I start from the interview process. I'm making sure this is someone who's going to fit my brand and is going to be good for my company's image. I recruit based on this. I will go out and, like, if I see somebody and I'm like, ooh, she would be great, I want her to work for me, I will try to recruit them. So and I know we get so stuck in our minds in our industry that we don't pay well enough, and which we don't. I think all of us wish we could pay better, but there's other things we can offer, right? And this is something I will do a lot of training on, you guys, on for employee retention and also creating your brand. This is something I will definitely train on, how to get your staff on board. But it's really just mindset. It's making sure that you're giving people something to work for. You're giving them purpose, right? And there's like this mission. It's a bigger mission. But definitely a lot of training and coaching and reminding them. If you've got an employee who's been with you 5 years, they're going to forget. So just constantly reminding, just planting seeds and reminding them. That is really important. The next question kind of ties into that. Do you have a policy about how staff presents themselves in public when wearing your logo? Yes, I absolutely do. And not only do I have a policy about when they're wearing my logo, but also just social media and whatnot, right? Because they are always presenting your company to a certain extent. So, it's really hard because we really can't regulate what they do when they're not. You can have policies based on, like, as a representative of the company. I do have to say, however, they can be a little bit hard I'm in a right to work state, so I can do a lot more than some of you guys that aren't in a right to work state. But it's good. You definitely want the policy, but more important than the policy is the training, the new hire training, the ongoing training, just making sure that your staff is aware. And that's really a lot of times it's the awareness. They just don't know. So when you bring awareness to your staff, and it just really opens their eyes and they start thinking about it. Most people don't really think about their image when they're in public. So just helping them to be aware that people are always watching, they're always judging. So if you're wearing my company's logo, I don't care if you don't see a single one of my customers. There's tons of different customers that could be potential, right? So just be aware. Awareness helps a lot. So just talk to your staff and add it into your new hire training. Make sure that you're reminding them. So if you're in a staff meeting, just remind them, hey guys, when you're wearing our logo, you're representing my company. Think about what kind of image, what narrative, you guys, you want to control the narrative. So train your staff on that too. And when your staff is really proud to work at your center and they've got that strong buy-in, they will just be on board. And they really will. Every now and then we're all going to get that staff member that makes it tough, but you just want to get rid of them fast anyway. So I did a podcast episode on that. It's called When It's Time to Say Goodbye. So if that's something you guys have a question on. So that is just a really quick summary. I promised you guys I'd put a video up on this, so I wanted to make one really fast. I didn't want to not put that out, but like I said, the Zoom video it is just really hard it's choppy, not only because of the sound problem I had, but my internet didn't seem to be working either that great. So it's just really choppy. So this is going to be in place of that video. So I still deliver what I told you guys I would deliver. And if any of you guys that are watching now have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. That's just a really brief summary. I wanted, just before we ended the weekend, I wanted to make sure you guys had that since I told you I would. And again, if you're just joining, I did post that question and answer. It is in the units tab of the Facebook page. I typed all that up. So the links I'm talking about that I just told you guys, don't worry if you forget it, like Upwork.com, my 2 companies, I linked that in there. Let me think, what else did I link in there? Oh, the podcast episode to my time management, that's linked in there. So you guys will have all those. Hi, Samantha. Oh, no problem. Anytime. I don't mind at all. I just want to make sure I'm delivering on what I tell you guys I'm going to do. So it's kind of funny. It took me an hour to do the question and answer yesterday, and now it's only taking I don't know how long I've been on here, but it hasn't been very long. So when I'm just summarizing really quick, it's so much quicker. And I still hit the same points. Okay, well, that is it for tonight. I promise. I shouldn't say promise just in case, but I'm pretty sure I won't have any more videos for you guys tonight. Again, I am just going to remind you one last time that I am closing out my membership tonight at that $99 price. And next time I offer it, it is going to be at least $199. I know that my business coach and I are going to finalize a price on that. But as of right now, it's going to be at least $199. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and weekend, and I will see you guys next Friday at 4 p.m. for my normal weekly live. Bye.